Utah. With team pride on the line, the Utes will be pulling out all the stops in an effort to go undefeated at home and have their first 9-win season since 1964. It's blue versus red coming at you next. The rivalry has arrived, folks, and what a beautiful day for football here at Rice Stadium. If you're watching at home, gather around the fire, get a cup of hot chocolate, and enjoy 3.5 hours of what we think will be fantastic football. Good afternoon, everyone. Dave Fox along with Neil Hansey and Sharif Shaw. And first of all, you know, Neil, we've covered these games a lot of years, and I can't remember these two teams being so highly regarded as they are today.
I can't either, Dave. I don't think we've ever had a case where one is ranked 20, one is ranked 21. I mean, that's awfully close.
You know, you never really need any reason to play this game other than the fact that there's a rivalry, but there's a lot at stake beyond that.
Well, there is. There's the fact that there's the league championship at stake, different bowl games are at stake, and even if they weren't, they'd still play the game.
You know, the fans really get into the rivalry thing, but it's kind of funny to see Coach McBride and Coach Edwards. They seem like genuine buddies.
Well, I think they're good friends, but I also know that they're about 50 yards apart, and they're going to be extremely competitive all afternoon.
Let's take you down right now to Sharif Shaw, standing by on the field. Sharif, I can sense that there's electricity everywhere.
Hey, if you didn't know, I tell you what, you are not aware, because this game is by far the biggest and the best game in the state. I tell you what, though, despite the gorgeous appearance of this weather, the turf will play a big factor in this game. I tell you, it's going to be it's going to be difficult to catch the ball, because after getting tackled so many times, you kind of become numb. So it's going to be ball control, lots of fumbles, and they may cause, you know, some problems for both teams. But what we won't see is a lull in either one of these teams. Back to you, Dave.
Okay, Sharif, let's take a look at the keys to victory, the Gus Paulos keys, among the things these teams need to do. First of all, turnovers are a big key, as Sharif
Turnovers are going to be a big key. Sharif alluded to it, but you need to hang on to the football on a day like this.
Running game. You know, BYU's got a couple of good running backs, and the Utes can run.
Both of them can run the ball. I figure it's the one who can stop the other running game that's going to win the football game.
And finally, and this is something both teams really need to do, you got to play all four quarters.
You got to play all 4 quarters. You should know it by now after the last 2 weeks.
Oh, baby, it's the rivalry. There's nothing better. You know what they say. This is the biggest game of the year. And we'll be back with the kickoff from Rice Stadium after this. Utes won the coin toss, and for the first time this year, Neil, they deferred. They told us they weren't going to do that.
Trying to change your luck. Last 2 weeks, they did not. This week, they did.
Utes deferred, so BYU will receive the kick.
Be interesting. Do you recall whether the Utes deferred last year or not? Superstition
Neil,
got anything to do with it?
You're killing me. I don't. Well, kickoff will take place in about 30 seconds. And by the way, we also want to make mention of the fact that right now they're introducing the seniors. It's the final regular season game of the year, and they're certainly their last appearance here at Rice Stadium. And boy, there have been some good ones. Luther Ells, of course, the team leader. There's Charlie Brown, number 23. But Luther, the team leader, named to the Coaches All-America team today, the AFCA Coaches All-America team. So already postseason honors coming in. There's John Walsh, the junior. The big question out of Provo, will he be around or will he move on to professional football next year? There's Mark Rexford, fine senior linebacker. They're introducing all the seniors so the fans have a chance to say so long.
You know, we were talking pre-game, you and I at least, about what does Ron McBride come back with next year, and you said about 22 new guys, and that's about right. He loses a lot.
Yep. Well, here's one guy who loses, Mike McCoy. As we look at the Bank One Conference leaders getting set for today's game, you got 2 of the top 3 in the total offense category for the Western Athletic Conference. So 2 good quarterbacks, 2 great offenses, actually, and what should be a sensational show here. Really nice afternoon. There's John Walsh. Really nice afternoon. Walsh, by the way, has thrown 25 touchdown passes this year. He leads the WAC. And there's Mike McCoy. He's thrown 24. See, he's 1 behind Walsh, but remember, McCoy's played 1 less game.
Played in 1 less game, and I think the theory of that's going to be used to open the football game. First possession for each team, I'm going to predict something. I think BYU is going to run to set up the pass. I think Utah better pass to set up the run.
We recall they did that a couple times last week against Air Force, in fact, and it worked quite well.
Yep.
Cougars getting their final instructions from the coaching staff there. There's Coach Lavelle Edwards. The Utes had a little motivational speech this morning from Frank Layton, the Utah Jazz president, and several of the Utes told me it was an unbelievable speech that really got them fired up, and they are excited about this game. It's not too tough to get pumped up about this one.
No, if you don't get warmed up over this one, you haven't lived in this state longer than 30 seconds.
And it doesn't take long, too. Some of these players, as I mentioned Luther Ellis before, when they first came here, they didn't understand the rivalry. Charlie Brown didn't understand it, but they said, boy, it doesn't take long. One thing the players know is that when you lose the game,
you know about that part.
And it's a long summer.
That's Mr. Gomes.
Yeah, that's right, Lenny Gomes.
I thought he did a real good job in his newspaper article the other day, though. Really did.
Lenny Gomes, the man who is famous for saying that someday these guys will be pumping my gas. This kickoff sponsored by TCI Cablevision of Utah. They're taking television in tomorrow, and we're just about set to begin.
And Pulsifer doing his usual cheerleading routine at about the 25-yard line. Now he'll get ready to kick. Excellent crowd.
To receive the kickoff, Jason Cooper, number 83, and Mark Atuaya, both standing at their goal line. We're underway. Pulsifer's kick is away. They both want it, but it ends up in the hands of Cooper. Cooper wrapped up just shy of the 20-yard line, and Ofa makes the tackle, and so the Cougars will take over. Our first series is coming your way.
A little bit of a problem with the sunshine. It's low in the winter sky from the southwest, and it's going to be a bit of a problem looking back into it for the team that has the ball that is going to the north.
There's the numbers on John Walsh. Over 3,000 yards passing this year. Number 2 in the WAC in total offense. And our first play from Skimmons. And they'll keep it on the ground with Jamal Willis. Willis will pick up a few.
You get about 4, maybe 5 on the carry, coming strong off the right side, behind that big right side of that offensive line, Pilgrim and Herring.
You know, the funny thing on that formation, Steve Clements, the backup quarterback, was lined up at a wide receiver. Some trick play they might be working on, who knows, but he was in there. Let's take a look at the offense brought to you by Christensen, Chevrolet, Buick, and Geo. There's Wilson, Heimuli, 2 great backs. And a huge offensive line. Eli Herring, over 300 pounds. Quick pass outside to Doman. And Doman almost got away from the tackle, but you know who's there. Number 4, Kareem Leary. And clearly one of the star defensive backs in the WAC as we look at the rest of the Ute defense. There's that line. Now, there's 4 of them, but they really play about 8 guys. Kafusi, Ellis, the other Kafusi, and Bronzo Miller. But you'll see Kia and Wilson and DeCastro on there. Great linebackers. Derek Stapley, Rexford, the team's leading tackler. And, of course, Kareem Leary and Ernest Boyd. They lead the WAC in interceptions, 6 apiece. And Leary has returned a couple for touchdowns. And Lusk has done the same. 3rd down and 3. Walsh to throw, gets it out to Heimuli. Heimuli wrapped up, but he gets away and he'll have the first down. Still on his feet, he's tough to bring down. Finally dropped by Edwin Garrett, but good second effort on the part of Hema Heimuli.
Just good power. He was tackled about the first hit, about 3 yards short of first down, ends up about 4 yards past the first down marker. Just great effort by Heimuli. It's a short throw, he gets it there. He's hit once, gets away from that tackler, runs through another one, and then it takes 3 Utes to get him down.
Hema Heimuli just happy to be here today. Last week after the San Diego State game, rolled his car on the freeway 5 or 6 times. Fortunately, he walked away with just some bumps and bruises. 1st and 10 for the Cougars, and it will be slipping to the ground. Well, Bronzo Miller was right there, but it looked like Jamal lost some footing, but he wasn't going anywhere even if he'd stayed up.
He did lose the footing, but Bronzell Miller was the reason. He saw, looked up, saw Bronzell coming, tried to make a quick cut, couldn't get it done. There he sees him. Whoops. Yeah, he goes down.
That'll be a loss of about 2.5 yards, 3 yards for the Cougars, so it'll be 2nd and 13.
And as we pointed out, the Cougars running on first down both times in this series. Run to set up the throw.
84 is Mike Johnston in motion for the Cougars. Walsh back to throw again. He's looking out for intercepted.
Lusk.
Harold Lusk comes up with his 4th interception of the season. And Neil, we said at the top of the game, turnovers would be a factor.
This throw goes right through the hands of the intended receiver, and Lusk makes a great catch right off the tops of his shoes. He was looking for his tight end, Chad Lewis. He couldn't squeeze it. You'll get a look at it here again. Walsh looking left, then comes back over the middle, right through there, and Lusk with a pick right off the top of his shoes.
You know, last year Utah jumped to that 14-3 lead off of turnovers, interceptions. In fact, Harold Lusk had one of those in last year's game. The Utes come out with 3 wide receivers and now call it 5 as McCoy moves into the shotgun and no one in the backfield.
Utes going to throw to set up the run. Here's the first throw.
It's complete, just shy of the 20-yard line. The knee was down, though, so they will not be able to move any forward from there. Chris Yaris. Let's set the offense now. And, of course, it's led by Mike McCoy, approaching 2,800 yards passing on the season. Number 3, the WAC at total offense. There's his backs and receivers. Claiborne and Marsh, probably the best 1-2 punch in the conference. And, of course, the line, it's a big line. You want to keep Lance Scott healthy. There's some big guys there. The starting lineups brought to you by Christensen Chevrolet Buick Geo, Utah County's largest automobile dealer. McCoy looking to the air again. There's a flag down. The pass is completed for a 3-yard pickup. But let's check the flag.
Check the flag out. It's just a real quick bootleg pass to the tight end on the right side, but the flag went down almost immediately. Could have been something right at the line of scrimmage. To be from the reaction against Utah. Upsides, BYU. Personal foul, BYU.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's a big one. This is going to hurt. One of the Cougar players over there trying to talk to an official. And I would suggest that he turn around and get out of there. It's Jamie Cook, a defensive back. I don't know what the play was, but he wanted to know who the foul was on and why. Here comes the official all the way across the field.
That pass was to Chris Jaris. 2 passes in a row to this kid. We haven't heard much from him all year.
Think we're doing anything different this week?
My goodness.
That penalty is declined, followed by personal foul, late hit out of bounds against the defense, half the distance to the 8-yard line, first down.
You're going to ask the Utes how penalties hurt.
Well, the Utes have been penalized 838 yards. We were talking before the game. That's more yardage than Charlie Brown has gained all year. That's too much. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. McCoy
With daylight, as daylight.
He could get in close. He stopped at the 3-yard line. McCoy had room to run.
Run down from behind by Scott Albrecht, linebacker, who pulled him down from behind as he slowed up to wait for a block.
Let's take a look at the BYU defense. Randy Brock anchoring that defensive line. Travis Hall at the other end. And Ross, of course, one of the twins. There's Stan, his twin brother. Muirbrook and Simmons. And then the defensive backfield. You'll also see Dermel Reed in there at times.
Higgins getting about his 3rd start of the year, I think, for Reed at the corner. 2nd and goal.
McCoy with Brown behind him. Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown is wrapped up. At least 5 Cougars in on that, led by Randy Brock and Dennis Simmons.
Brock just refused to be blocked on that play. Would not be taken out of it. And the defensive end, Hall, there also. Travis helping to make the stop.
Scoring card. One of those as well. So the defense of BYU stacking them up. And that's going to leave Utah with a 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line as the official stops things for a moment.
Called a timeout, then walked right into the Utah huddle talking to him there. I'm not sure what it's about. The Utah team will know. He was quite vehement about it. Now he's calling the Cougar players in. This may have something to do with talking on the field, that sort of thing. He's trying to contain it rather than let it get away and have to call penalties.
Well, that's interesting. He's trying to nip it in the bud. Boy, when you get these two teams together, as you do in any big rivalry, though, you're going to have a lot of that. 3rd down and 3, folks. Utah trying to get into the end zone.
Marsh is on the right side. Cougars showing blitz, coming after McCoy. He got it away into the end zone.
Almost intercepted, but it's incomplete, so the Utes will have to settle for a field goal. Looks like Rick Tucker was the intended target, but boy, you said blitz was coming, and McCoy instead didn't have any time.
Just didn't have time to pick out the receiver he wanted. He had 2 to the left, had a crossing pattern working there, but didn't have a chance to look over there.
Bank One conference leaders on the 3rd down conversions. You see that Utah's 4th in the conference, BYU 7th.
So this is a good stand for the Cougars.
Yeah, after an interception and a couple of costly penalties, a 20-yard field goal attempt for Dan Pulsifer. And he got it. The Utes are on the scoreboard. They convert a turnover into 3 points. And with the score, Utah 3, BYU 0. We'll be right back after this for Southwest Airlines, the low-fare airline.
It's time for friends to...
Who were wearing all 3 colors, red, white, and blue.
That's right. 3-0 our score. The Utes convert an interception into a field goal. And Dan Pulsifer once again trying to get this crowd on their feet. Jason Cooper, Mark Atuaya standing at the goal line. And that kickoff sponsored by Ken Garff, where they back up every car they sell. And the Utes, 2. And it's Cooper again. Cooper hit at the 15-yard line and dropped. Jeremy Drews on special teams. Let's go down on the field to Sharif.
I tell you what, Dave, if you notice the last drive, BYU had no problem in converting those 3rd downs, and that's primarily because Utah had an enormous amount of missed tackles. That's the same thing that drove them to lose to New Mexico and the same thing that drove them to lose to Air Force. They're going to have to tighten up and try to stop these 3rd down conversions. Back to you.
Sideline Reports brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Flying the low-fare airline is just plain smart. Even Coach McBride has said that all week. We got to just get back to tackling. And right now, we're looking for Jamal Wilson. He's wrapped up by Kaufusi.
Jeff Kaufusi from the defensive end just got the penetration and hauled Willis down for a loss. There's something else. You see him just coming through, and Willis can't do a thing about it. Kareem Leary up there to help at the end.
Jeff Kaufusi, one of 2 Kaufusis playing on this team, and of course a 3rd one. Steve is on the sideline helping out with coaching chores. The University of Utah football is sponsored in part by R.C. Willey, Utah's biggest and one of America's finest home furnishing stores. 2-yard loss makes it 2nd and 12 for Walsh. Walsh to the air. Pass is complete to Hay Mooley. He is one of their leading receivers coming out of the backfield. And Hay Mooley dances up to the 24-yard line before Mark Rexford. He's the Utes' leading tackler. Finally brings him down. But Hay Mooley is so dangerous. He is the number 2 receiver on this team, and he's a running back.
He just curls out of the backfield, then reads the linebackers, goes to where they may have vacated, dropping to cover a tight end. He split them that time, and then he runs well with the football after he gets it.
Cougars as John Walsh barks out the signal on 2nd down and 4. Walsh again to the air. Touchdown, Cougars.
Tight end.
Chad Lewis, number 96. You remember his brother played for the Utes, Mike Lewis. What a character he was. And Chad Lewis comes up with a big touchdown to put Cougars within a point.
Using the same play they used out in the middle of the field to get first down. Tight end just down 3 yards, sets up, waits for the ball.
And we are tied up. And for John Walsh, 18 consecutive games with a touchdown pass. And he is even the score. Tries the right side and doesn't get much. That collapsed in a hurry. John Ross had his hands on him to start with, and then the rest of the crew. Here, missed field goals, and the offense just can't get it going.
Once again, we are looking.
We'll be right back after this for Southwest Airlines. Cougars by 4, which means the Utes must get a touchdown if they want to win this game. We'll be back. Don't go. And we're going to give him our Menlove Dodge Toyota sub of the game. He pinned the Cougars down at their own 1 yard line. That resulted in a Ute touchdown. So Dan Pulsford, the Menlove Dodge sub of the game. But right now, 2:15 to go. And the Utes offense has another opportunity here. This kickoff sponsored by Ken Garf, where they back up every car they sell, and the Utes as well. Kick is away.
It's returnable.
Cal Beck at his 1 yard line.
Great block. Holy cow.
And Beck still on his feet. Gets terrific yardage. Beck still up. Oh, my goodness. Beck, if he had been able to keep his feet, might have gone all the way. But what a great return for Cal Beck, the freshman.
And what some great blocks downfield to spring him loose. His head outran his feet.
Oh, Neil, what a game we've seen here.
This is amazing. Watch the block to the right side right there. Now watch Beck step out of the tackle, Get some help there, and now it's a race. And right here, Beck loses his balance. If he can keep it, he's gone.
67 yards. Oh, if he could have kept that up. I think Dan Pulsfer is going to have to share that sub of the game with,
I think
with
he
Mr.
is.
Beck.
I think he is.
All right, the Utes. 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play in this game. They trail by 4, but they're in BYU territory. Draw play to Charlie Brown. And Charlie, great yardage all the way down to the 20 before Jamie Cook wraps him up. And this crowd is going crazy.
This is absolutely amazing. Watch Charlie Brown on this run. He picks his spot behind the block there, and then just hanging on to the football as the Cougars try to rip it out.
Charlie Brown has gone over 100 yards for the 4th consecutive game. Right now, his team trying to get into the end zone. 1:45 to play. Clock is running.
Blitz is on.
Brown again, and nothing doing there.
If he had one block on the left side on the linebacker, that would have gone because the linebacker on the left side was coming.
University of Utah football brought to you in part by Bank One. Get a loan the easy way. Call Bank One's 30-minute loan by phone line at 1-800-352-LEND. Clock is ticking. You see it there. Now, how's this for something interesting? If the Utes score a touchdown here, it would be 34-31. Does that sound familiar?
Does to me.
Just like last year.
Rush.
McCoy to throw. Dumps it off to Charlie Brown, who has a lot of room. Charlie Brown.
He's going to go.
Touchdown, Utah.
He's in.
Touchdown, and Charlie Brown scores it. And for LaVell Edwards, that dream that he's been seeing all summer long in those commercials is suddenly starting to come back into reality. And that's, by the way, the second touchdown in a row where we have not seen the officials stick their hands up. I don't know why they're afraid to do that. And Pulsipher got it. Look at this, folks. It's the exact same score as it was last year. But there is still 56 seconds left on this clock. And based on what we've seen in the last 2 minutes, don't go away.
56 seconds and 3 timeouts left on his clock. There goes Pulsipher, but holy cow.
Wow. Time now to name the Blues' most valuable player for today's game, and I think it's really an easy choice here, Neil, with Charlie Brown.
Watch number 23 do the work on this one. It's a good job by McCoy, but watch this play. Beat the cornerback, and then just power it through a tackle and into the end zone.
Oh, man. I think you got to give a little assist to Cal Beck because he really set the Utes up with that 67-yard return.
You can come up with 4 or 5 real quick heroes here in the last minute. Now, plenty of time. 56 seconds, 3 timeouts. What Pulsipher would like to do here is get it into the end zone. No run back.
This is incredible. The way this score is exactly the same as it was last year. There's all kinds of snowballs being thrown onto the field, and that's something that you do not need to see. There's a lot of football players
out there. And the officials are taking a timeout right now.
They're going to stop it. The football players are well protected, but there's a lot of people down there who aren't.
Well, it's just plain dumb is what it is. It's just plain stupid, and it could cost the Utes a penalty here if they don't stop throwing it. Most of them coming out of the Ute student body. Enthusiasm is one thing, idiocy is another.
Yeah, that's just dangerous. And I mean, a snowball is like a rock. 34-31.
And how it got there.
It's just amazing. The last 3-4 minutes of this game, just amazing. Dan Pulsver's kick is away.
It'll be returned.
That's Jason Cooper. And Cooper finds some room, and he's all the way up to the 28-yard line, and a flag is down, so you never know. There may be even more help coming.
Could be face mask, I think. Could be a face mask. No, illegal block in the back against BYU.
The penalty bug has bitten the Cougars today. John Wall standing at the sideline discussing things with Robbie Bosco as they prepare to mount their final drive. Walsh has 51 seconds.
To cover some.
Snowball still coming in. They really got to be careful with that.
It's got to go 83 yards. The Utes' response is to put 5 defensive backs, and Kirkman, who can cover defensively, is in there. Rexford is in the middle.
John Walsh from the shotgun, going to the air, and he'll go to Atuaya. He'll pick up about 5 before he is knocked out of bounds. Look at the crack there. Say, hey, get away from these goalposts. Lipton's Kettle Creations soup mixes provide fresh vegetable and pasta soups without the can. It's good. And it's uncanny. Lipton Kettle Creations. 2nd down and 4. 44 seconds to go. John Walsh and the Cougars trying to get back into this. There's Atuaya again, right over the middle. And he'll be stopped there, but the clock is moving. We approach 35 seconds. You see it there. And the Cougars really need more than the short plays that you're seeing here. They got to get the ball downfield.
Clock will start as soon as the chain is set.
Walsh again. Pass is batted. Almost intercepted by Garrett, but that pass was batted. Bronzell Miller, the man providing the pressure.
Just trying to move the ball downfield. That's all Walsh is trying to do. And we have a substitute coming in for Utah. Puha Finau has come in on the defensive line, replacing Jeff Kafusi, and that moves Luther Ellis to the defensive end.
We haven't seen him there in a while, but that was his position for 3 years here. Walsh again fires down and just beyond the outstretched fingertips of Mike Johnston.
You cannot fault people in this football game for effort, can you? There's some great effort going on out there, both sides.
"25 seconds remain. It's a 3rd and 10. More importantly for the Cougars, they need to get the ball in field goal range if they want to tie. Or 70-some yards for a touchdown. With the Ute defense getting in the way. Pass is complete. And they'll mark that a big pickup for the Cougars all the way down to the 34-yard line with 17 seconds left, and it was Heimuli coming out of the backfield.
Heimuli got in behind the defender, and Walsh with a great throw, able to get it down the sideline. Good protection. Watch this, it's right on the nose. Heimuli gets behind Ernest Boyd.
He just has a rocket arm. 17 seconds to play.
Now, if you're Lavelle Edwards, do you settle for the field goal? Doesn't do you any good to tie.
No,
doesn't get you a conference championship or a piece of it if you tie. I think
certainly doesn't.
I'm of the opinion that he's going to try and put it in the end zone.
Well, 17 seconds left. He can throw at least a couple down there from here. Let's go back down on the field. Sharif, what a finish. The sideline's got to be going crazy.
It's incredible. I remember the game, the exact score last year. It was incredible. I tell you what, if you are Coach Edwards, you have to go for the win, like David's been saying, because the tie would do you no good. And so defense knows that. So it's just a matter of playing the coverages and playing the receivers, allowing them to get the underneath stuff, but not giving up the big one. That was the most important thing. Any yard, they have to go for the end zone, and that's what Coach should be telling them right now. Back to you, Dave.
All right, Sharif.
with 17 seconds, that's at least 3 plays for John Walsh.
Well, they still have 2 timeouts left. Keep that in mind.
Yep.
You know, the Utes almost scored too fast. There's Brian Rowley.
You're going to have to cover the deep man in the end zone. You want to cover to the outside. Where is Walsh going to throw it? To the outside, down the middle.
Walsh looking.
Down the middle.
Walsh is going to be sacked. Fumble. Scooped up by the Utes. That is going to be it. Bronzell Miller with the sack.
Luther Ellis.
And Luther. A fitting finish. Get off the field. It isn't over yet, but a celebration that is well deserved.
There are yellow flags all over, and doesn't take much to figure out why.
Well, you can penalize the Utes all you want right now, because all they need to do is put a knee down a couple of times. Oh. Coach McBride getting out on the field, imploring his team to get off. But a big, big defensive play by the 2 defensive stalwarts.
The smartest guy in the stadium is Coach Whittingham. He just went in the dressing room.
Oh, did he? Just left.
He just left. Ron McBride throwing his hat. Get him off the field.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Now, you got to run a play here, folks, and end this football game. They're penalizing Utah clear back to the 33-yard line.
Well, like I said, they can penalize it. Oh, wow, another snowball just hit one of the BYU players in the back of the head, and he didn't have his helmet on.
It's just plain stupid what's going on.
It really is. You don't need that. You've got to win. You don't need to do this.
It's amazing.
Mike McCoy to put the knee down. Watch yourself, Rick.
The clock will run out. And look at this. The Cougar defensive line, the Ute offensive line just stand up and shake hands.
Deja vu all over again, folks. 34-31. Here go the goalposts.
Look at this. They burned them.
I'm hoping Sharif might be able to grab someone down there. Luther Ellis standing at the 35-yard line, enjoying life right there in front of Sharif. And there he is. Sharif, grab a hold of Luther there.
Grab a hold of Luther.
Good job. Great game. Great game. Great game. Great game.
Luther is speechless.
Well, this has been a good one. This has definitely been a hard-fought battle. This has been a good one.
Sharif, if you can there, get a hold of Luther.
I can't. Everybody's swarming him. Nobody can talk to him. Everybody's swarming Luther. The 600 kids, the opposing players, everybody's on him. Everybody's signing his hand, and I mean, he was one of the big warriors in this game, and everybody's just loving it. I can't get 5 feet from him.
There it is. Same score 2 years in a row. And it's a lot harder to get a goalpost out of AstroTurf and concrete than it is to tear it out of grass.
It's the first time, by the way, under Lavelle Edwards that Utah has won back-to-back games. So last year, the Utes tried to take down the goalpost. This year, they're tearing down their own. And on the Big Mac scoring recap, Deron Claiborne's 5-yard touchdown reception from McCoy put the Utes up 27-24.